Hey, hey, hey.
Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're super excited. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Go ahead as of right now and just start tagging and sharing this with as many people as you can, because I'm telling you guys, we cannot wait to share with you guys the foreign exchange market. Not only are we going to share with you guys tips, we're going to show you guys how to actually trade in this space. Every single day, we're giving you a nugget, a tip, so you can be able to see how simple and how easy it is to trade in the foreign exchange market. And on top of that, we're bringing real people that has been trading with us, real people that has been trading in this space that are actually, doing extremely well, that you get to hear their success, their results. You get to really have a full understanding from their perspective outside of just always hearing and seeing what we got going on. We wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to just meet some of our wealth friends. And so we're really excited. Welcome to the Helping Families movement. So welcome, 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 you guys. Go ahead and share. Give us some hearts, some likes. This is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yep, and we're so excited to have on today. Now, let me tell you, our guest today on the show, hilarious,
a joy to work with. You hear me?
He's definitely a joy to work with, and he brings that spice and that excitement and that fun to trading. And so we're going to invite him on. He's out of, Mississippi. He real country. I want to say Mississippi or Alabama or something like that. But his name is Alex Coleman. So Alex, welcome.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Mississippi in the building. All my Mississippi watching, y'all head from Mississippi in the chat. If you're from the SIP.
You from the SIP. Some cornbread. Come on now.
Al been over there eating a lot of cornbread, quarantine.
See there?
Slick. So we're so excited to have Al on. Now, Al, how long have you been trading?
I actually started last year around July, I believe.
Okay. I didn't even realize you've been connected with us that long, but I get it. I remember. Wait. I got you.
All right.
Some inside stuff.
Right. Inside. And so we're gonna definitely talk about your experience with trading, the Helping Families movement, all of that. Those of you who are tuning in, if you're trading with us, go ahead. Like in this time that we're in, everybody needs to hear the messages that we're sharing today. So go ahead and start your watch party, tag some folks, whatever you need to do to get this message out. I don't know what Marquita is singing in her head, but
I'm getting some music. I'm Disney.
Because what we're going to talk about is literally some of the conversations that we should be having even within our families and close friends, but sometimes we don't know to have the conversations, right? Mm-hmm. And so as you saw, we're talking about today, are you on the right side of money? And we came up with this topic after having a conversation today with two of our good friends, and we were just talking about the state of the economy and different things going on like that. But the reality is a lot of times we don't pay attention to that stuff, but when you get in the Forex space, it changes your mindset to now look from a different lens. And so it puts you at the advantage, right? And so Keita, I'll let you kick it off because you made a really good.
It was good because one of the points that Camille made actually kicked off the whole conversation. And it was something that she quoted from Robert Kiyosaki. So I want you to go ahead and share because
what I say, girl?
Oh gosh, you said
I remember. Okay. So I had an opportunity to listen to Robert Kiyosaki the other day, and he was just talking about how a recession really started back in November. But the reality is we as average people wouldn't know the indicators or the signs or the things to look for to recognize. So even when you look at the concept, I know you've probably seen some really top heavy hitters like Bill Gates and so forth who, left their positions on boards, meaning they cashed out and took their money and all of that. They had insight on some things we don't know, right? And so what happened? They were able to secure their bag, but they're also in a great position that when this snapback comes, that they're on the right side of money all over again. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so it was really powerful to hear because, like, in our mind, this recession just now started.
Yeah.
with this virus. But one of the things that was really stated was like, okay, what really happened is that a recession started really around November-ish.
Yep.
However, around when that happened, of course, now the country is trying to figure out, or the world is trying to figure out, what can we do to stop this crash?
Mm-hmm.
Then lo and behold, this virus comes around like, what's up, right? And then what happens? The world shuts down to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
People stop spending because we can't go anywhere. Things are closed and this and that. Cities and states have now started opening back up. Why? Because the economy is hurting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they give people stimulus money. No, they know most people are not going to use that money to pay their bills.
Mm-hmm.
They know that's going to go right back into stimulating the economy with putting down payments on cars, to buying
IDs and all of the stuff they don't need.
All the stuff they don't need. So I really believe this came in place to stop that ultimate crash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, when everything starts to open back up, you about to see a spike, right? Yep. And it's just things that you wouldn't think about without being in the space and recognizing the markets. And when I say trading Forex, this is my 4-year anniversary yesterday, as a matter of fact. 4 years. And I feel like over these last 4 years, it has really changed my outlook on a lot of things. Like, I couldn't stand watching the news because it was depressing.
Mm-hmm.
However, now I watch with a different lens. I don't take what I hear to heart. I'm listening to the message behind it to know how to move. So even in this space of hearing all these things happening with the virus and this and this and that, those things don't move me at all. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to the voice behind the voice to make sure I'm on the right side of money at the right time.
And you know what? That is so good that you said that, because one of the things that we were talking about when we were walking, and one of our friends also asked, she was like, so what do you think is going to happen when the economy actually opens back up? Do you think it's going to be good, or do you think it's going to be bad? And so I gave her a scenario. I said, just look at it like this. I said, when the recession actually happened in 2019, in the end of 2019, many of us wasn't prepared for what was getting ready to come. Now, we knew in 2020, because we know every 10 years there is a reason that happens in our economy. So we knew, we were expecting 2020, but did not know that it was already showing itself in 2019 until December of 2019, when the virus had actually hit. And so I gave her a scenario. I said, look at it this way. I said, our government in itself, they know the ins and the out, because they created the system. They created the economy that we actually live in. I said, so look at it from this perspective. I own several different businesses. So of course, at the end of the day, I know all the ins and the outs of the business that I actually run. So even if I get customers or people that are a part of my system, my program, they are a part of my system. So if I know in the front end something is going to get ready to happen, guess what? I'm already ahead of the game, just like our government is. They're way ahead of the game. And so I gave her another scenario. I said, just like when we're trading in the foreign exchange market, when we're trading in the market, and let's just say a particular pair is about to get ready to drop, okay? One thing that we notice as traders is that brokers, market movers will stop right in the midst of those trades actually going down. And we raise the eyebrow and say, why are they doing that? There's a reason as to why they're stopping the market. Because let's say you got 1 million people in on this one particular trade at the same time, and they're in as a sale. We're all about to become extremely, extremely wealthy. So if they stop it, they have the opportunity on the back end to make an adjustment within a time frame that we have no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that happens when this recession happened in 2019. The exact same thing that happened. So once they already knew was here, They had already been preparing. So when you started to see a list of the people that was in the stock market or people that own stocks like Microsoft, the people that were part of the boards and all of these Fortune 500 companies, that was because they already knew. They got out right before, right in time, because we trade stocks, we trade futures, we trade everything out there as traders. We were able to see that list, and that list came out a week or two before the stock market crashed. And all of them had actually pulled out from their position. Now, one of the things I want you guys to really pay close attention to is that don't think that they didn't just pull out. They pulled out so they could secure the bag that they already had in the stock market. Okay. Now, don't get it twisted. Now, they will jump back into the stock market. Yesterday, oil dropped under nothing.
Zero.
Why does that happen? You know what I'm saying? But for some of us, like, oh wow, it did drop. How do I get in on it? If you don't have knowledge and information, then guess what? You can't. You wouldn't even have a clue, a real true understanding on how to get into that space and start purchasing oil at that low. And so these are the wealth conversations that we want you guys to start really thinking about. Don't just think about the virus. I was telling some of my prayer people, and Al, you jump in at any time. I was, talking to some of my prayer leaders, and we were just talking about this whole thing. I'm like, I don't just necessarily just think it's just the virus that we just continue to keep on praying. I said, it's what's coming after that. It is like you have to go way ahead and beyond. You know what I'm saying? What you're seeing right now, because it's so much more than this virus. I'm telling you, our economy is going to look extremely different. It's going to look totally different. It's not going to look the same anymore. I mean, so many people have lost their jobs. So many people have lost their lives. And even if they open up the economy May 1st, like they're saying they're getting ready to do, what does that look like for the millions of other people that filed for unemployment? They're not going to go automatically and get their jobs back. No, it's not going to happen like that. You see what I'm saying? So understanding, I was telling Camille, I'm trying to figure out and really understand this whole situation of even once they reopen it up, what does that look like? What do we need to be praying for? What does other people need to be, you know what I mean? Really, really thinking, being forward thinkers in this space. And so that's the type of, stuff that I really want you guys to really pay attention to. And Al, I'm telling you, it's just such a beast with it because you really caught on. You know what I mean? You caught on to the importance of making sure that we have risk management in this space. The importance of even studying news in this space in correlation with the different pairs. You know what I mean? So talk about just your experience with, being in this space and how you have developed and grown. I mean, because we call you Heavy Pockets because he be over there.
Yes, Heavy Pockets.
He be over
there real quiet.
Quiet, making the move.
Well, check it out. First of all, man, I'm just glad that you all brought me to this space because it's been a life changer for real. I'm a contractor. I build. And I ain't gonna sit here and act like I don't make money. I do make money, but I had to start thinking. I mean, think about this. A guy who carries shingles up a ladder every day, a guy who picks up heavy plywood every day. And I'm 40 now. So what happens eventually? I'm gonna be 50. And if I continue, all I'm gonna have is kind of what I could save, because I'm a self-employed person. And so if I continue in the way I'm going, all I would have in the future when it's time for me to retire from me to pass on something to my children or even leave something for my wife if I end up going first. But if all of that happens, like in the next few years, how is my body going to be doing? Am I going to be forever able to throw loads of shingles on my shoulder and walk up ladders? No, ain't no way. Your body's going to eventually start giving out. Am I going to be able to just run up ladders all my life? No, I see old men that's been in my field for a long time. And it's an eye opener because I have to watch them struggle to walk up the ladder with nothing in their hands. Now they know how to lay the shingles on the roof and they know how to do all that kind of stuff, but I have to watch them struggle to get up that ladder. And I started thinking like, man, if I don't find some kind of way to make sure that my body is okay, or to make sure that I can make some money without having to use my body, I'm going to be up a creek in the future. And so that's why I really started putting a lot of time into educating myself, watching the educators and learning about this Forex market, because this market is definitely the place to be right now. I mean, I can wake up every morning and just be honest, make a whole week's check sometimes.
Yeah.
In one morning, it happens. I mean, and yeah, you have wins, you have losses, but you'll learn. If you learn how to do it, you'll learn risk management and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this thing I started doing, just saying, hey, if I can increase my account by 4% every day, I'm okay. And I've been consistently doing that, you know, and it's just really been a blessing to learn that. And I'm just kind of looking like uh, it's about to be a new way of living for a lot of people after this is over.
Mhm.
I don't exactly know what that's going to look like. I'm a guy, I love traveling. And I started to realize how much of the world depended on the travel industry. And I'm talking about cruising. I'm talking about the Ubers. I'm talking about Frontier, American, Delta Airlines, all those people. They're kind of up a creek right now because what? No one's traveling. And
Mhm.
so, you know, even looking at that, so what if those companies had taken some of their money and invested in Forex? I
Mhm.
really believe that they wouldn't be crying like they are right now, saying, hey, we need a stimulus, we need a bailout, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, I just really believe that this is the skill that everybody should learn, man. I mean, it's been a process to learn it, but it's been a blessing. And I would I would I would think that most people would be interested in stuff like this, but I think what it is that I find a lot of people are interested, but they don't want to invest the time to learn. You have to invest the time and learn yourself, even though you have amazing people who are going to be over you, who is going to be helping you. You still have to invest that time to learn it yourself, so that when those people are too busy to help you one day, you can do it on your own. And so, like I said, just thinking one trade per day, going through the pairs, finding a good one, looking for my little 10 pips for that day, and I find it, and bam, I'm done, you know? And that's been able to consistently grow my account. And like my goal is ultimately to take my wife off her job and
Yeah.
allow her to do what she believes her God-given purpose is. Um, she's a therapist, and she definitely she works for a company that has a lot of therapists that work with people with mental something. I don't want to use the wrong word here, so let's just leave it right there. But her vision is to be able to start her own therapy for children who went through really, really hard adverse trauma.
Mhm.
And I believe that's her gift. And you don't always get that when somebody else is putting the people in front of you. But
Right.
she wants to attract the people that she wants to attract, and that she knows that God put her in this earth to help. And I want her to do that. And I also I think I was talking to you, Camille, when I first joined. I said, I'm going to build this life center for these kids. I'm going
Mhm.
to build these starter homes to where they don't have to, where kids who have nothing don't have to be thrown out into a world with nothing, but
Mhm.
they can stay at these starter homes that we're going to build. They ain't going to be real big, but that means you ain't going to have no high bills,
Come
and
on.
you're going to have zero rent, because our organization is going to allow you to stay there. If you go through our program, you grow up and you say, I want to be a man, I want to work, I want to take care of myself. We're going to allow you to save that money. And guess what? While you're there, you're saving. We're going to also be teaching you something. It's called Forex, you know? and so so we're literally right now, and I mean, man, it was so funny, because when I first started teaching my 4-H classes to the kids, and they were learning about pips and they were learning all that kind of stuff, all of a sudden this hits and they say, well, y'all can't have no more gatherings. And I'm like, y'all crack, boy. I almost said what I said to the government, but anyway, I understand people are wanting, they're one to protect us or whatever. So I'm gonna just accept that and be a big kid about it. But when this is over, like I said, my goal is that these children who are in my organization, uh, that they have a way out of poverty, because that's what a lot of people don't understand about people growing up in poverty. I mean, sometimes I told people, man, I would have rather been punched in the face every day by a really strong guy than to grow up in a place that I had nothing that I needed, you know?
Mm.
And so through our organization, man, it's been a blessing. And I know, like, and my goal is that in 2 years, I don't have to raise a penny. I'm serious. I don't have to ask anybody for anything. Now, I know there are people who like to donate, want to donate to causes like that, and they do. But in 2 years, I don't want to have to. I want to wake up every morning and I want to be able to make our monthly goal for our organization. I want to be able to pay for another starter house to be built for a child that says, "Hey, Alex, I want to grow to be a better person. I want to grow and save some money, and I want to grow and I want to invest." And so our goal is to have 20 of those houses on the property. We already got the property. That's the blessing. Um, yeah. So we want 20 houses on that property. We want our life center there with a gym and a swimming pool, because I don't know how this happens, but for some reason, uh, children that look like me don't learn how to swim. So I'm just. Can y'all swim?
I can swim.
You can?
Yes. I'm good.
You can be a lifeguard.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Not a Baywatch lifeguard. With the kids.
Gotcha. Understood. And so those are goals, though, because lifeguards, that's a paycheck. So if you can grow up and learn how to swim, there are so many things that these children can learn that can help pull them out of poverty. And like I said, we're going to give them this Forex whether they like it or not. They're going to know what pips are. They're going to know how to count them. And if they never trade Forex in their life, they'll be able to have a great conversation about it, because they're going to know all the lingo in the language.
That's good. Man, that's so good. And I mean, I'm just excited. Like, that's what, and I know Camille said it earlier too. She was like, once I got in this space, I was already a dreamer, because I know, God, the promises of God. But she was like, it just allowed me the ability to dream even bigger. You know what I mean? To really be able to say, man, I really now see that I have a vehicle that could be able to afford me the opportunity to be able to do what you want to do, give back, bless, you know what I mean? Spend time with your wife, be able to take her off her job, provide people the ability to be able to do the things that God created them to do. That's freedom. That's having time freedom and financial freedom, not to be bound and locked into a society, into a government, you know what I mean, that literally continues to have us in this bubble and in this cycle of just doing and working for them. And then what do? We die out, and that's it. And we have not even literally fulfilled the purpose that God has placed on the inside of us. You know what I mean? So when I saw this opportunity, that's what I saw. I saw freedom. You know what I mean? I saw freedom. I had already been in the space, you know what I mean, where I've been an entrepreneur for over 11 years before this ever hit, fell into my lap. So I knew the importance of having my own, you know what I mean? Not going to punch a clock with somebody else, but having the ability to stay at home with my children and be able to impart and educate them, being able to travel the globe, being able to do things that, and being available for ministry for our pastors and for our local church, and, all of those things like that, to pour back into people. So when I got in this space, I was grateful and thankful that I did say yes, when I did, before it took me forever to say yes, but I said yes, you know what I mean? That's the importance of that. But I'm glad that I did, you know what I mean? Because we wouldn't be on this call right now, literally telling other people in this season, in this time, that you could be living your best life. We wouldn't have this movement where we woke up this morning before anybody could open their eyes and you receive a trade idea alert while you're in your bed with your loved ones. You come on, somebody, and you're making money directly from your cell phone, not just having a cell phone that you paying a monthly bill on, or you know what I mean?
Cell phone paying you.
Cell phone is now paying you, and you're making money. How beautiful is that? I know Al said something the thing. He was like, "Yeah, it's so cool. Wake up, kiss my wife, and make some coins too." I'm like, "That's the life, bro." too, like, I love you too, babe. Keep on making that money, So it's just such a blessing. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's really exciting, and I just thank all of you guys. It's just an honor You know what I mean? To be able to trade with people that have a vision, that have a goal, that have purpose. You know what I mean? Because we thrive off each other. You know what I mean? Because I can't wait to shout. I can't wait for the day that Al said, I built those 20. You know what I mean? I got that gym. You know, that's displaying, you know, the manifestation and the glory of God. Like, we take no credit for this. You know what I mean? Not even the education, the skill set, none of that. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? I thank God every day for the Holy Ghost. I thank God every day, you know what I'm saying, to being able to participate in something like this. And so it's just, man, I'm just super geeked. I'm super excited. I mean, Al, you just been tearing it up, you know, just completely tearing it up. Because one other thing I want you to talk about too is talk about this whole, because you know, I be on this, because Al actually came up with this for our group, y'all. He had been studying. Y'all know that I'm huge on studying stuff, making sure that I understand it, that I get it. But he paid attention. He paid attention when I talked about making sure that when you're trading in this space, that you're not over leveraging, that you have a trade journal, and you're watching what particular pairs, you're not just jumping in and out of everything, that you're understanding risk management with the balance that you have, that you're not looking over to your neighbor because their account balance may look totally different than yours, that you're not being a gambler. He paid attention to all of it, and he came back and said, hey, I know you're good at throwing gold. What if our whole squad, our whole team do a 4% situation? In every trade, we do 4% off of it. And by this time, we will be looking at this. Al, talk about that, because that right there was a straight game changer. And I just want to say thank you, bro, because I've been trying to tell so many people about risk management, but everybody want to gamble. You know, everybody want to be on the boat. You know, that's what they call them, the river boats or something like that. I don't even know. Gambling boats, you know.
All right.
They want to turn the trucks into a gambling place, you know.
So, man, I'm just being honest. I gotta give credit where I think is due. I really believe that God gave me that plan. I'm so serious.
Absolutely.
I really believe he gave me that plan, because I was sitting down and I was just doing numbers, and I was like, okay, if I start here and I do this per trade, I'll be here. If I start here, I do this per trade, I'll be here. And so I was just kind of just throwing stuff around. But then I said, well, let me call and find out. I think I called Camille and I asked Camille, I said, at what point does a broker cut off a trade? I was talking to her about how what do they call it? Stop out a trade? I don't know. That's what it is. Okay. So I asked her at what point, and she said, well, I think once your account gets a certain percentage or whatever. So I said, let me do some math and see if I can come up with a formula that I would be able to stay in a trade, even if it went backwards 200 pips. And that's what my formula was, because I was noticing that even if I get into a trade, the majority of time, the trade does not move 200 pips before it comes back, even if I took a bad one. And even in those cases, I've learned how to go ahead and get out of it, and I'll set me a buy stop or something and let it come back to my zone or whatever. However, the 4%, when I looked at it, I was like, okay, if I do one trade per day, that means I'm looking through all of the charts. I'm looking at the GBP pairs. I'm looking at gold. I'm looking at the AUD pairs. I'm looking at the JPY pairs. And we all know, well, the people on this call know there are certain signs and certain candles that you can look at and you'd be like, okay, that was a gladiator candle right there. So this right here is about to retest, and this is going to jump back up. So sometimes I'll jump in on the retest if it's going to be a huge retest, and I'll get in on that, and I'll get my 10 pips there. And then once it retests, I'll get 10 more. So that grew my account 8% in one day. And so the 4% is a really good risk management tactic, using only about 4% maximum in your account. And I'm going to tell you, what I always do is if I have $2,000 in that account, I do my 4% with 1,000. That's the way I do it. That's just me, because I'm a really, really careful guy. You know what I'm saying? And everything. I deal with a whole bunch of children every day, so I gotta be careful. It's funny because the kids be like, Alex, you see everything. I say, yes, I do. So don't be trying to shice me. And I mean, it's funny, our girls, y'all like to get together and form one clique and be against the other clique. And I'll be sitting in the corner of the room looking, and I'll stop everything and say, I tell y'all what, the clique over there better not say one word to the clique over there, or I'm going to be the one doing the damage in this room. So they like, Alex, you see everything. And yes, I do, because I think is what a lot of people don't see is that over time, using a tactic like that, your account is going to grow and you're going to be okay. So if you do what I just said, and you have a $2,000 account, but you trade a $1,000 account, then guess what happens? Your account now can really go 400 pips in the hole and it not harm you. You know what I'm saying? And so, no, I'm not encouraging not one person to stay in a trade for 400 pips.
Right.
I am not. I'm just saying. So you want to be able to protect. Right. You do. You trade your own risk, but you want to be able to protect your investment. You want to do what's smart and what's wise for you. I always have a daily limit. Say, if I lose this much today, I'm done trading. I'm not going to trade anymore. And I'll jump back up the next day. And usually I'll be good for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then I'll have another bad day. Hey, that's how life works. You have those ups and downs, and the market does not always do what you want it to do. Neither does the stock market. So I know a lot of people who are invested in stocks, and, they're kind of crying right now, because their stocks went to garbage. And that's really sad, because I always think to myself, that money went somewhere, but oh well, let's not even mess with that. But yes, risk management and making sure that you trade comfortably with what you have is very important, because you don't want to become an emotional trader. Absolutely. That's what I did when I first started trading. I get emotional when I took a loss. Then I'd be like, I'm gonna get right back in here and I'm going to get my money back. And the next thing I know, I done lost again. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it one more time, and this time I'm gonna double my lot size. No, do not be an emotional trader. You have to be very level-headed. You cannot be emotionally connected to that trading. You got to be level-headed and say, hey, I'm learning this. I got faith in the process and the system that I'm learning, whether it's ECC 11, whether it's the pivots. I got faith in what I am learning, and that faith in what you're learning is what will always work. Because maybe it didn't work today, but those next 2 or 3 weeks is going to work. Yeah. Maybe you got into one more bad trade, but those next 2 or 3 weeks is going to work. That's why I say learn the skill set. Whatever you're learning, learn the skill set. And once you learn that skill set, you can trust, and you won't be looking up there. As soon as you see your trade turn red, you're like, oh, I'm getting out,
Right.
You're going to be getting out of every trade you get in, whoever thinks like that. So yes, you have to be, you have to learn it, and you have to have faith in the skill set that you learn. And I work with the ECC 11. I also work with I don't know what you call it, a pattern called Head and Shoulders that this guy teaches.
Oren.
Yes, I work with the Head and Shoulders, and it works well for me. Mm-hmm. And so I like those two. They've been giving me my 4% daily. And just saying, if you take one trade a day and you have a $1,000 account and you take that trade at 4% per day, then it would take you about 100 trades. That means 20 trades per month. So that's 5 months would give you 100 trades. Who takes $1,000 to $50,000 in 5 months? I don't know many people who can do that, and especially sitting at home. Now I can do it carrying more shingles up a ladder, but I want my back to be good, and I want my body to be where I can go to the gym. That way, when I go to the beach in Jamaica, I don't look like the sand, and the rocks and stuff. I want to look like somebody took a chisel and made me and said, God bless your son, you know? So yes, but but that's what at 100 trades at 4%, you will be up to like $40,000
But you
now.
know,
Like,
you said 100 trades. I really need y'all to understand because, see, this is the thing. He said 100 trades. 100 trades is not a lot of trades. Let's just be real clear, okay? Although he may say even if you take one trade a day, okay? But just imagine we have amazing educators that we get on with live every single day, all right? 5 days a week that we're on with them, and they are actually sharing trade ideas with us. If I get on with 5 educators throughout the day, and I actually take 5 trades from each one of them. You see what I'm saying? It has now already put me at over 20 trades. You get what I'm saying? So, and that could literally happen in a week's time. If I am working my chart, working my 4%, not over leveraging my account, but I'm taking the right trades. I'm getting on with people, with educators. I'm looking at it. I have a knowledge of it. I'm not just receiving the information and I'm trying to make the money, but I have an understanding. So even when the educators do throw out the trade ideas, I can also look at the charts myself and say, I see why they threw it. All right, let me jump in and execute it as well. But just imagine if you're in a group like what we are a part of, an educational platform that like what we're a part of, you know what I mean? And that's just the conservative side that he's giving you guys. Extremely conservative, all right? Because we do way more than one trade a day, period, in all the accounts that we actually trade in. Because we're getting on together, trading as a unit. We trade as a unit together, okay? We trade with the educators together. And so that's one of the main things that I love to tell people. And that's one of the things that I did early on. And that's why I continue to keep on embedding it into the minds of brand new traders, is that once you get into this space, learn the education part of it. Really take heed to having risk management and proper risk management. Don't try to look to the right or to the left of who is doing what, who is actually bringing in what. You work your system. And then before no time, I mean, I remember actually giving trade ideas out to team members. And I know people that were doing 5 standards and I was still doing a 0.24 lot size on the same trade that I gave them. And they're doing a 5 standard or 4 standard, making $5,000. And I'm sitting here making $25 on one move. But you know what? My account continued to keep on growing. And when I got confident enough, I then upped that lot size to 0.50. So now if I did 10 pips on that move, that was $50 that I was making. You understand what I'm saying? Then I went to a standard. Then I went to 2 standards. So if I was to throw that same trade at 100 pips, that was $1,000 that I was making. You get what I'm saying? But I never, and it took me time and it took me months, and I would continue to stay consistent because I started to understand, and Holy Ghost started to kind of show me that if I stay consistent here, I watch the balances. So I was able to take $100 and turn that into something, able to take a $500 account and turn that into whatever amount. We can't give out what we've been able to actually do because, you know, we just can't talk about that part of it. But I hope you guys are understanding. We can only talk percentages and pips and all that. But once you get connected, you will understand all of this verbiage and everything that we're saying to you guys. But I really hope you really understand what we're teaching you guys as of right now. What this call is all about is showing you guys that you can do it. Is letting you guys know that if you use proper risk management, if you don't come in with a gambler's mentality, but come in with a set plan, come in with a goal in mind, come in like I am going to give this at least 12 months to 2 years of my time. Because if you think about it, you go to school, you're giving that education, that school 4 years of your time to get the degree. You can't come into a space like this that is a $6.6 trillion a day space expecting to make $1 million in 30 days, expecting to learn the education in 30 days. This space is so vast. There's so many things that you're learning, and we've been in for 4 years, and there's still things that we're learning every single day. Still stuff. And so that's why I love the fact that Al came in and he understands that part of it. He understands that, okay, consistency pays. Consistency is key. You know what I mean? Taking my time, that is when I'm able to see the results. And one thing that I threw a trade I did to the team earlier, and I think it was like 30 pips, and Al missed that one. But then he came back and got the other one that we threw in. But he was like, no, I ain't tripping, you know. I already secured the bag because, and what is he saying? Because he ain't tripping on trying to rush in and grab, you know, some pips over here because he's still securing the bag. You understand what I'm saying? It's like he understands, let me just chill for a minute, chill my mind, because one thing that I learned in this space is that really trading is really like 90% mental and the rest is like 10% technical probably. You know what I mean? So you really end up mentally losing the money because you're trying to gamble. You're trying to get in on every trade. I done missed it. Oh, no, you ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing. Trust me, this market has been around for hundreds of years. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So the same way that trade went up and you missed it, it's going to come back down. Just wait for the down. Just wait for the downtrend to happen and you can catch the same amount of pips coming down. Just be patient. So, I mean, I'm really excited. One of the things that we want to come on now, and I want to show you guys exactly what Al was talking about when he was mentioning to you guys about the charts that we use in this space. And so let's pull up that real quick. I want you guys to see this because this in trading is extremely important. So once you make the decision to hurry up quickly, get back with the person that got you guys connected in this space, we want to make sure that you are utilizing this particular compounding chart. This is one that we use, and I just had it as of right now set at 4%. But I want you guys to see this. I want you to see the power of compounding. Okay, so remember, we have educators that you can get on with that gives you trade ideas. So let's just say we're smack dab in the New York session. Well, it's about to end, coming into the Asian session. So let's say we're getting ready to come into the Asian session as of right now. And you get on with an educator that actually gives you a trade idea that tells you to buy the Japanese yen versus the US dollar. Okay, so right here, one of the things that we do, and we teach our team with the balance. So make sure you set your balance. So let's just say my balance is $500 that my chart knows of, but actually my broker account, I have $1,000 in it. So instead of you actually putting $1,000 as your balance and trading all of that $1,000 and risking that $1,000, one of the things we tell people to do is put half of that, put $500 as your balance. Okay, so now you have what we call leverage. So if a trade was to actually pull in the opposite direction, you have a 500 free margin there that could continue to keep you in the trade. And what happens, you end up staying in the trade because you know, through understanding support and resistance, understanding that the market will do drawdowns and pull-ups, that you could actually chill and allow that trade to retrace itself to come back to where it needs to where you can actually cash out in profit. So I want you to pay attention to this. So now we actually are trading with $1,000, but our chart only sees 500. Okay, we have set our chart right here to 4%, and we're doing 10 pips. Okay, so 10 pips per trade at 4%. So right here, this is our balance that the chart knows of, but we really have 1,000 in there. So let's just say you receive a trade idea, and they told you to buy the Japanese yen for the Japanese yen versus the US dollar for 10 pips. You got into that trade, and let's say you hit the 10 pips. You hit 10 pips. So that means that this is your lot size is a 0.20. Okay, so at 10 pips at 0.20, once the market has hit those 2 pips, hit those 20, that 0.2, hit that 0.2 lot at that 10 pips, you end up making $20. Okay, so now your account is now $520. That's awesome, right? So blow it up right now in the chat because you just made $20. Did you know anything? Did you know to buy the Japanese yen versus the US dollar? No, you did not. You didn't know at all. You just got on with someone that was smarter than you and you were earning as you were learning. So put in the chat money. I want to see if you're watching, put in the chat money. So cha-ching, you just made $20 and in less than a few seconds, your account grew from $500 to $520, which is really $1,020, okay? So let's just say you got on again. And they threw you another trade idea, trade gold, which is my favorite. So you end up trading gold for another 10 pips. All right. Your lot size is now 0.21. You're just working this chart, okay? 0.21, you get in, 10 pips hit, bam, you got $20. You made $20.80. Now your account is at $540.80. And you did this within a 5-minute time frame, 10 minutes of your time, and you received trade ideas directly from educators that were a lot smarter than you in this space. So let's just say you got a third trade idea. The same thing, all right? Now your lot size is 0.22. They told you to sell a particular pair. You did that and you made $21.63. Okay, so I want you to see, and now your balance is now $562. Put money in the chat, okay? Because this is what you guys are going to be making, all right, and doing. So we want you guys to see the power of compounding, support, and making sure that you're using risk management. Now I want you to see the beautiful thing about this, and this is just a chart at 4%. We have people that trade at 100%. That with their balance, 50%, 20%, 35%. It is based on whatever your risk tolerance and level is. Okay. I see it's the money. I see Tiffany giving me the money in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. But I want you to see this. All right. So Al said 100 trades. Remember, he said that if you did 100 trades, so let's go down the chart and see what it would look like if we did 100 trades. Okay. Based on a $1,000 balance, but we're trading at 500. So if we scroll on down to 100, so we're right here at 100. So when we reach our 100th trade, we're now looking at $25,000, $252.47. I need all y'all to put money in the chat. So that is just 100 trades. So for example, you get on today and you did 10 trades. So you did 10 trades today. I really want y'all to see this. You did 10 trades today, and with doing those 10 trades, that $500 balance, where's the 10 at? Your account is sitting at $740. Let's say tomorrow you do another 10. Now your account is sitting at $936. Let's say the next day you do another 10. You're sitting at $1,300. Do you all see how this adds itself up? It's absolutely amazing. So you could easily do 100 trades in a week time and end up making that $25,000. But let's just say you wanted to trade even at the $500 level, but you wanted to do 50%. I really need y'all to pay close attention to this at 50%. Okay. So now you see at 50%, your very first trade would end up being a standard at 2.5, okay? So that's $250 that you just now made, and now your account balance is sitting at $750. The second trade you do is at 3 standard, all right? That's $375. You see how it continues to keep going up? So it's, like I said, it's based on your risk tolerance, your risk level. All right. Remember, you still have an extra cushion of $500 in there. Now, we do make recommendations and things like that of the, based on account balances, what those percentages needs to be. So that way you're not over leveraging the account. But I want you guys to pay close attention to this, because you can go home and just play with these numbers to determine what you want to, to be able to accomplish over a certain amount of time. So even right here at 14 trades closed, that's $28,000. You have taken a $500 account, trading and cheating off of someone else's paper. Only thing you're doing is taking the time out your day to get on and learn a skill with other educators that are smarter than you, and you are taking their trade ideas, and you were able to fund a brokerage account for $500, take the trade ideas, understand, and was able to turn that $500 into $28,000. 14 trades later, which is absolutely amazing. So let's just say Al said 100. Get you excited. Y'all see why we on here every day trying to talk to y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Man, I think, hey, shout out to both sides. O to the M to the G. Now, I know them numbers are real big, because we ain't going to be throwing I think we can't even throw that high. It's probably what, Camille, how's the biggest standard we can throw? 100 standard? I think that passed the 100 standard. But y'all get the idea. The money multiplies. It continues to increase and continue to keep on growing. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to come on here and that I wanted to show you guys. The power of, just compounding in itself. The power of being able the power of being able to, literally be able to take full advantage of this market, take full advantage of this space, the power of really understanding and learning a skill set that could literally feed you and your family for the rest of your entire life. And that's why we're on here day in and day out. And we're helping the masses of people. We're helping families like you, like I, regular people, understand that there is a skill set out there that could literally afford you all the opportunity to be able to live your best life ever. Like really, for real, for real. And so once again, we just want to say thank you guys so much. Look, quickly get back with the person that invited you. I'm talking about right now. Don't be trying to overanalyze and overthink anything. Right now, we don't have a time to be overanalyzing and over really thinking. We're not telling you what to do. We're literally just sharing this with you guys. It's up to you to ultimately make the decision to say, you know what they're saying and what they're doing. And I'm seeing success of other people and I'm hearing other success stories of others. And I definitely think that is a skill set that I want to learn, that I want to have in my back pocket. So then that way it sets me and my family up for financial freedom. And that's what we're talking about here. So once again, you guys get back with the person really quickly that invited you. Click the link, join right now. This is the best company, the best movement, the best education that I've ever been a part of. And it has definitely blessed me. And I'm definitely has blessed everyone that has been a part of the movement, the Helping Families movement, my squad, my team, my family, everyone. So once again, thank you guys so much. We're super excited. Congratulations. Welcome to the Money Team. And see you guys on the other side of money.